familiar. I had the car started first time this winter, drove it over to my dad's, and I got it there and the car would not start again. So I've had intermittent starting issues, which is pretty common for 91s. They are not as prevalent on the later Zs, I think, because they added a relay, but these early Zs don't have that. And in the past, there's a couple things that we've done to try to mitigate it. Bypass the clutch pedal switch and disabled the VATs. And I still have the problem, intermittent. It's very intermittent. So we had the bump start in the road. So I was gonna start to take the plenum off again to get to the starter. And I stripped out one of these plenum bolts, which was a pain in the ass. You can see here, I put a groove in it and I'm able to spin it out. It took me a while, but that's what we're up to today. Plenum's coming off, new starter, new solenoid going in there. Coil packs have to come out and likely be cleaning under there again in an area where I did not access before when I had the plenum off earlier. So let's tear it down. All right, I got everything. I got the coil packs off of there. Kind of a bitch to get back there. Those screws in the back bolts are difficult to get to. This starter does not look original. Looks like it's been replaced. It's very clean. Was kind of hoping it was original, and that's definitely my issue, but we're gonna take it out anyway since we're here and replace it. All right, I'm back up and running. Made some mistakes this time pulling the plenum off. I did strip out one of these bolts. Got a new one from Jerry's, $9 for a bolt, but no other alternatives, so it's worth it. The big mistake I made was, service manual says you have to drain the coolant in order to pull this off, because there is coolant that kind of runs through here. There's posts on the forum that says all you really need to do is empty out this from the bottom here. There's a hose. I did that the first time I pulled this off, no problems. I did not do that the second time. And it was a major issue. There are ports here and on the other side. This plenum is full of coolant. When I took this off, coolant spilled out into the runners, down inside the piston, down inside the motor. So cylinder 1 and I think cylinder 3 had the intake valves open, and I had a ton of coolant in the cylinder, as well as in the runners that had the intakes closed. So I was kind of screwed. I did buy a scope from Amazon. This came in really handy. It was like $40. I took the spark plugs out, scoped them. I could see the coolant in there. It was terrible. And I used a 1/4 inch clear flexible tubing to suck it out. Real long one, sucked it out with my mouth. Actually, it didn't get in my mouth, but I just did it the series of that, and then did also the intake. And then I used a sort of, I could call it, I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's a power blaster deal. This uses to clean off the car, really, just to get the dust off, but it worked out really well. Sticking this nozzle into the ports to blow out any remaining droplets of coolant that I had, as well as inside the cylinder. So at the end of it, everything was dry and good, but starting it up with the coolant in the cylinder like that, even if it did start, major issues I would have had. Everything fit back together fine. Just make sure you drain at least this reservoir when you're taking this off, or you're gonna have the same problems I did. New gaskets from Jerry's. I'm gonna put the relay in There's a purple wire that feeds the starter, and that purple wire actually goes all the way through the interior to the clutch switch, and it loses amperage along the way. There's guys on the forum that are putting a relay in, feeding that purple wire directly off of the power supply, the 12-volt power below the battery. So I'm going to do that. I'll document that. But I'm just super happy that this thing starts back up with no problems, and I got everything back on. Just don't make the same mistake I did. All right, so we're going to wire in a relay that interrupts this purple wire, which feeds the power to the starter. And it's located in the big loom here. It's the only purple wire in there. I think it's like a 12 gauge. It's a pretty thick wire, but that's the one we want to cut. And we're going to wire in a relay. Tuck it down under here. And that should help things in the future. All right, I wired up the relay. So battery came out, battery holder came out. I got a ground over here. Picked up positive over here. And I've got my main harness, purple wire going to the starter. This is all butt connected and secure. And then this is coming from the switch, purple, underneath the dash. And this is my relay. And we'll put it back together and see if it works. All right, we're buttoned back up. So this is the relay here, and it's all wired up. It's gonna tuck it down below. I need a cover for this. I can't find one. If anyone has one, unavailable, can't get them anywhere. But everything's good, so I think we're ready to start it up and give it a shot.